No one had ever dared to stand up to the billionaire. But that all changed the day. A pregnant cleaner looked him right in the eyes and said, "You do not speak to me like that." What happened next shocked everyone inside Ashford Manor, one of London's most exclusive private clubs. The crystal lamps glowed above a silent dining room. Just moments earlier, the room was buzzing with polite conversation. Now, every sound had died, because everyone had seen it. Oliver Drake, the billionaire owner of the club, had leaned forward, grabbed the chin of a pregnant cleaner, and hissed venom right into her face. Her name was Maya Ellis. Everyone in that room expected her to crumble. Oliver's voice sliced through the silence as he shouted, "Look at me when I speak to you, you useless girl." Spit landed on Maya's cheek as her hands trembled. Her baby kicked inside her, almost as if it was protesting the injustice. On the table lay some papers, damp from an accident Maya didn't even cause. They were apparently worth millions. At least, that's what Oliver kept screaming at her. He forced her face closer to his and growled, "Do you have an idea what you've ruined?" Maya shut her eyes, not out of fear, but to make a decision. And when she opened them again, something inside her had changed. Her voice came out low and steady. "Take your hand off me." The entire dining room froze. Oliver actually stepped back, completely shocked. No one had talked to him like that in years. She lifted her chin, and her voice thundered, "You do not speak to me like that." Her words echoed like lightning inside the grand hall. Oliver stumbled, startled by her sudden strength. Maya stood tall, belly forward, shoulders firm. In that moment, she looked more powerful than the billionaire himself. "You're fired," Oliver spat. "Get out, immediately." But Maya completely ignored him. Instead, she turned and spoke to the entire room. "My name is Maya Ellis. You call me useless. You call me uneducated. But you know nothing about me." Oliver scoffed, but the guests had already shifted their attention from him to her. She held their gaze. "I wasn't always a cleaner," she continued, her voice gaining strength. "I was a financial analyst. I spent 10 years building a career I loved. Then my father fell ill with dementia. I sold my flat to pay for his care. I resigned from my job to look after him full-time. I held his hand until the day he forgot my name. And even after, the room listened in absolute, unbroken silence. When he passed, Maya said, her voice trembling just slightly, "I tried to return to my field, but every single interview ended the same way. You're pregnant. We need someone more flexible." So I took the only job that would hire me. Cleaning floors I once walked on in high heels. And I do my work with dignity. But no one deserves to be humiliated like this. Then, a trembling voice spoke from behind her. It was Margaret, the head waitress. "She's right. He's yelled at all of us. He once fired a single mother just for asking for one weekend off to see her sick child." Oliver snapped, "Be quiet or you're fired too." But the dam had already burst. The head chef stepped out from the kitchen, wiping his hands on his apron. "I've watched him throw plates at trainees," he said, his voice firm. "He docked my pay for taking my son to the hospital after an accident. Enough is enough." More and more staff members began to murmur in agreement, their fear finally giving way to solidarity. Oliver's face turned red with rage. "You're all replaceable," he shouted. "This place runs because of me." But at the main table sat 2 investors from Manchester who had witnessed the entire disgusting display. Sir Edmund Hart, the elder of the two, stood up slowly, his presence commanding immediate respect. "Mr. Drake," he said, his voice calm but icy, "I have run companies for 40 years, and I have never, ever seen leadership as disgraceful as what you've shown today." Oliver tried to speak, to defend himself, but Sir Edmund simply raised a hand. Silence, and the entire room, including the billionaire, obeyed. Sir Edmund picked up the multi-million-pound contract from the table, the very one Oliver claimed Maya had ruined. Then, in front of everyone, he tore it clean in half. Gasps filled the room. "My firm will not invest in a business whose owner abuses his staff," Sir Edmund declared, his words ringing with conviction. "Dignity comes before profit. Always." The second investor nodded in agreement. "We withdraw our offer completely." Oliver's face went pale. His entire empire was collapsing right in front of him, all because of one act of cruelty. "No way, this is ridiculous. She's just a—" "She is brave," Sir Edmund interrupted, his voice cutting through Oliver's pathetic excuse. "And you are cruel." Then, he turned to Maya. "Ms. Ellis, if you are half as capable professionally as you are courageous, I would like to offer you a position at my firm after your baby arrives. Of course. Maya's eyes filled with tears, this time of disbelief and gratitude. The second investor chimed in, and we will cover your maternity costs in full. The staff erupted in applause. Margaret rushed forward and hugged Maya tightly. The chef nodded at her with deep, profound respect. The billionaire stood alone, utterly powerless, watching the very people he ruled through fear now gather around the woman who had dared to stand up to him, because in that moment, she was the true leader. And that day a story spread through London like wildfire. The story of the day, a billionaire learned that the strongest person in the room is never the one with the most money, but the one with the courage to say, "You do not speak to me like that." Our stories travel far. Where are you watching from today? Tell us in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more inspiring stories.